Hey, how's it going? I'm Steve and I'm one of the chefs here at the Holiday Inn, Melbourne, Viera, and we're going to do a little demonstration today. I'm one of those chefs, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel or be on TV or a big star. This is just something that you can do at home to kind of amp up your regular Thanksgiving stuffing. Basically, if you take regular stuffing, follow the regular directions, and add some extra ingredients to it, it can really make something special. One of the tricks I learned early on, and it's not even a trick, it's a French culinary technique, and it's really simple. It's just you add something called Viera. And a lot of recipes, like for big brands, won't call for it. They might call for celery or onion. But if you put, it's supposed to actually be 2-to-1 onion to celery and carrot. Basically, those three flavors together are a very simple thing that make a difference in your cooking. Saute some of that. And I probably should have told you what we're doing is a chorizo, and I'm just throwing in some beans and some pigeon peas for color. But it's a chorizo stuffing. We tried it here at the hotel a few times. We went and Dewey. Basically, any really flavorful, fatty food it's great for stuffing, because stuffing is basically bread, a blank canvas. So I had some butter going, the butter that would be already in the recipe for the name brand stuffing. I let that render down. Ideally, actually, the chorizo I cut into, for these purposes, kind of like 1/4-inch cubes. I ideally probably should have let that render first, get that flavor out, the fat. The fat is flavor, unfortunately. That's why I know too much about fat being flavorful. So let that cook down. Ideally, depending on how large you cut the mirepoix, it should take 5 to 10 minutes for it to sweat. And sweat is a term that basically just means you're not browning it, but you're getting it tender. So let that work a minute. It already smells good. Chorizo, andouille, those types of sausages, even if you use regular Italian sausage, it's got a lot of salt content already. It's cured. So I'm just going to put a little black pepper in. Salt is something that I'll taste before I put it in the oven, make sure the seasoning's good. But this has already got a lot of seasoning. Okay. Add a little bit of garlic. Again, what I end up doing is I'll see what I have around the kitchen, what I have to use up a lot. I eyeball ingredients, but if you're one of those that likes to have more of a specific amount, there are countless stuffing recipes on the internet. And I had some tomatoes left over from lunch, so I'm putting that in there. Just gives it a different dimension, something, a little acidity. Let that cook down. In the meantime, the other big difference between hotel and good restaurant food compared to something that you might make at home is a lot of, most good places will make their own stock in-house. That's why a lot of people will be like, I can't make it taste like I had it at your hotel. We're making stock from bones, and we're making fresh chicken stock, and that makes a big difference. And come holiday time, we have turkey on the menu over at the conference center a lot. So we're making gallon upon gallon of turkey stock. And that is really, there's nothing like it. Again, it goes back to the idea that mirepoix is a little thing that makes a big flavor difference. I'm speeding up the process here a little bit. These are just, they're called gandules, they're pigeon peas. They come pre-cooked on the aisle with ethnic foods. But I like it because it gives the stuffing a little extra body, and the green goes really cool with the red from the chorizo. I threw some red beans in there as well. So, yeah. We've had, like I said, we've done this in the past at the hotel, and some people just really like traditional stuffing at Thanksgiving. For those people, you can make a batch of just the plain stuffing. Then if they say, I don't want sausage, then you got something for them. But this is really not out of the realm of, this is a really nice flavor combination. So we'll let that work for a minute. And then the last I expected something like that. But the last ingredient is cilantro. I tend to not like to introduce a lot of heat to cilantro. Kind of robs the flavor. I'm gonna wait for pretty much for this to work, cool down where I'm ready to fold it into the stuffing. That's when I'll add the cilantro. But again, I'll save maybe like a tablespoon for garnish at the last minute because it really gives it a nice, the bright green with the red from the chorizo. It really is a cool and holiday presentation. These are just store cubes. And again, I'm following the directions on the bag. This is going to introduce some moisture, so you might actually want to hold back a little bit on the moisture on the stock that it calls for in the recipe. But what I find usually these bags, they call for less stock than you need anyway. So get to that point. Just throw that right in there. I have my turkey stock. Again, it's a little thing. Even if you get the collagen or just bouillon cubes, instead of water, stock makes a huge difference. So this calls for 2 cups. Let's see what that looks like. Again, 2. It's easier to add more than to take it away. And that's just a nice color. Again, I prefer to put it in instead of putting it on the stove top. And like I told you, I did not save the cilantro for garnish, but luckily I have a full pantry in there. So when I screw up, it's usually covered. So that's what we're looking at before it goes in our baking pan. Basically, spray down the baking pan, put it in the oven, follow the directions. It's about 20 minutes. It should be good.